What is up, my dudes? We've got the Corporate Esports Association's Dota 2 Spring 2019 tournament going on. Today we've got Google Team C representing Google and Amazon Prime Courier representing Amazon. And we'll hop into the draft. It's going to be a little bit of a slow first phase ban, so gonna twiddle our fingers a little bit and wait it out. I believe these two teams are 2-0 right now. This is the week 3 matches. The replays have been a little bit slow. Well, we're currently heading into week 5 as of tomorrow, so got some games to cast to catch up on. But I believe these two teams are at 2-0, so kind of ahead of the pack a little bit in terms of the standings. So first off, right off the bat, we see Enigma banned. So I believe Google Team C have first pick. It's actually pretty hard to swing an Enigma pick on second pick because if you pick it in like these two positions, you get the back-to-back picks in the first phase, and I mean, the other team can just counter pick with Rubik or Vengeful Spirit. So it's like the two main counters right now. So it's actually quite difficult to swing these Enigma picks unless you're the first pick team. Or unless Rubik and Venge are completely banned out in the first phase. But there's more important here is the ban, I think. So a little bit of a question mark ban coming out of the Enigma. Puck is another hero. There's a bit of a question mark ban. Puck is a hero that can really snowball the game, but needs a good lane to go up against. So we normally see Puck as this like surprise last pick, 10th pick. But other than that, these bans are looking pretty normal so far. The Juggernaut and the Ursa from Google Team C, Lifestealer. We'll see what Prime Courier decides to ban next. Phantom Assassin. I feel like PA's fallen a little bit out of the meta recently. She's just takes a little bit too long to get online. Obviously got nerfed pretty hard at level 6. The crit doesn't do as much damage as it used to, but obviously at level 18 it all evens out to be about the same. Also, the triple stifling dagger talent got moved to level 25, so she's kind of left the meta. So sort of a interesting ban coming out of Prime Courier. A Lion from Google Team C. I like this. Lion's a nice stable pick, I think. Although it's not the most effective 4 position, at least like if you have an Earth Spirit player or a Tusk player, you should just pick them Earth Spirit and Tusk. Actually, an early Sven pick and then very fast double pick Lich and Sven. A lot of physical damage reduction already coming out from the side of Prime Courier, and a very quick Winter Wyvern pick. So revealing the support duo from Google Team C. I believe it was Prime Courier who ran a mid Lion in a previous game. So maybe that's still on the table. This Lion acting as a bit of a flex pick, but probably gonna see that position 4 Lion, position 5 Wyvern. The side of Prime Courier, the Sven early pick is quite interesting. We haven't seen Sven work in non-position 1 roles very often recently. The Warcry now scales with your strength, so you actually have some onus to get levels and get items. You don't just max Warcry and give your team 500 extra HP against physical damage. But they have the Lich as well, so a lot of physical damage reduction coming out. We'll probably see if we'll see if Google Team C wants to, double down on the magic damage a little bit. They already have the Lion. Winter Wyvern with the Splinter Blast does pretty decent magic damage as well. Gonna see the Grimstrike banned out of Google Team C. I like this a lot. Grimstrike Lich. It's a pretty explosive dynamic duo. It can go really well, really poorly. The Soulbind Chain Frost is pretty devastating, but you have 2 squishy int supports. Of course, Google Team C, they've also got 2 squishy int supports. So gonna be kind of hard. They're gonna have to pick a frontliner to help create some space between the front line and the back line. Otherwise, the Sven is just gonna blink in and go wild. They have the Winter Wyvern as an early pick, which is quite interesting. It does pretty well against Sven with the Cold Embrace. You can get Storm Bolted afterwards for a free combo. So wait, sorry, that's not how it works at all. I mean, you can get Storm Bolted during the Cold Embrace and like stunned immediately afterwards, but yeah, I mean, Winter Wyvern and Lion's also not a bad combo. You can like queue up that Impale, so right as the Winter's Curse ends, they're stunned for a little bit longer as well. It's a nice way to buy some time from the Sven BKB. Once the Sven BKB hits 5 seconds, it's going to be really hard for him to do anything, actually. Because he's just going to get Winter's Curse during the BKB. And then afterwards, Lion is free to do whatever he wants. But that assumes that the rest of the team isn't there to help him. So OD and Troll, sort of, yeah, that seems like normal bans. And the Darkseer as well. So Darkseer, not a hero that we see in pubs too often, so maybe understanding that Google Team C has a Darkseer spammer is an okay hero. I actually don't think he would be that good against this lineup. The replica illusions don't do that much for Sven. Although now there's his Vengeful Spirit, maybe thinking about that one ahead of time. Razor gonna come out for Google Team C, so gonna try and lane this Razor against the Sven, make it a pretty free lane. But I think it's gonna be this like Sven Lich lane? They could also aggro tri-lane. There's a lot of kill potential if they aggro tri-lane this. The Venge and Lich, a lot of lockdown coming from them, the Frost Shield, and the Magic Missile, along with the Sven. So if they decide to tri-lane, it's pretty scary. But they need to pick an offlaner who can solo, I guess. So that also makes so the Razor can just go against this solo offlaner is going to be pretty rough. There aren't that many offlane heroes that can deal with the Razor by themselves. So I like this Razor pick a lot. I think it forces Prime Courier into dual lanes. This aggro tri-lane, while it would be nice to get a lot of kills early on, it's the offlane's gonna be completely fucked by the Razor. But we'll see what Prime Courier can come up with. We've been seeing primarily Queen of Pain and Mirana to counter the Razor. You just like blink out or leap out of the static link, but you probably don't want to send them to the offlane, especially by themselves. I don't really have any good ideas about what they can pick here. The good thing is Sven actually doesn't get countered too hard. Ancient Apparition is going to come up from Prime Courier. Very interesting choice. We haven't seen this hero too much. They kind of just got rid of the one thing that made him really good, which is the Chilling Touch. His other spells kind of need a rework, I think. They're just a little bit underwhelming. They take too long to set up. But they do have the Venge and the Lich and the Sven as well. They've got a lot of slows and stuns to keep them in the cold feet. But I think we're going to see this mid-ancient apparition that a lot of people have been theory crafting. You just match Chilling Touch at level 1, just smack people. Max Chilling Touch first, you get that bonus, I think it's 170 damage every 3 seconds. So it's gonna be pretty hard to lane against the Ancient Apparition. The real question is, what can the Ancient Apparition do after the laning phase? You know, he can snowball the lane pretty hard, but just doesn't offer anything in the fights afterwards. And now the side of Prime Courier is pretty squishy. I could definitely see like an anti-mage pick, which would be pretty strong. Maybe see that kind of ban come out of Prime Courier. Omni Knight gonna come out for Google Team C. This is another hero that reworked in the 7.20 patch. I actually think, what's it called? Divine Favor? I think pretty sure that's what the Chen skill is called. Just do some fact checking while we're here. Omni Knight. It's Heavenly Grace. This spell is ridiculous. It gives you 28 strength. That's 20 times 28 damage. 560 HP and 20 regen per second, but this status resistance is insane. They can jump like anyone. You just Heavenly Grace this like Venge Sven stun, back-to-back stun away, and it just I don't know. This Omni Knight feels like such a good hero, but we don't see him in pro play that much. He's a little bit greedy. Probably going to be the offlaner here, so Razor. Actually, the beauty of picking this Razor in this third position is he can go in all 3 lanes, and there are 3 picks left, so the draft is wide open, and Prime Courier have to respond. They also have 2 back-to-back picks here with a ban to protect one of them as well. Gonna see Monkey King come out as a ban from Prime Courier, so maybe convinced that this Razor is gonna go safe lane? I'm not really sure about this one. A Doom ban gonna come out from Prime Courier. I think this makes a lot of sense. You don't want Omni Knight to get doomed, though, just feel really terrible. And then, like, really, that's all you need to do at this point. Omni Knight is really the only one who can really frontline and help his team just stay in the fight. Because this Lion and the Winter Wyvern, they need to hide in the trees until Sven shows himself. Otherwise, Sven's gonna blink in, stun, and insta kill the supports. There's a lot of pressure on this Omni Knight to be in the front lines, I guess, and protect his teammates. Maybe Prime Courier also thinking about picking a melee mid and not gonna do well against Monkey King. If you pick a melee hero against him, it's pretty rough. Trying to protect their mid, I guess. So Google Team C, they can still run this Razor mid, who will win most matchups. Unfortunately, they don't have the last pick, so I mean, if Razor goes up against the Sven, it's not too bad already. Actually, wait, what am I saying? Ancient Apparition is going to be the mid for Prime Courier, so a little bit of an odd ban, I would say. That being said, I don't think there's that many matchups that Ancient Apparition should do really badly against. Maybe TA would be really strong against him. Actually, Spectre cover. So it's going to be this mid Razor. Interesting. He should do okay against Ancient Apparition. Maybe just trade with between the static field, I think it's called, the passive from Razor and the Chilling Touch from Ancient Apparition. Just trade that damage. And Razor a little bit tankier than Ancient Apparition, so should have a easier time. Actually, look, I don't know. We don't see Ancient Apparition very often, so gonna be interesting. I'm excited to see this. Alright, so the Spectre gonna come out from Prime Courier. I don't know if they have enough damage to take out this Sven. Sven's gonna be really hard to take down. Spectre doesn't actually do that much damage, at least on like one-on-one fights, unless of course they're by themselves. Anti-Mage gonna come out from Prime Courier, so it's gonna be an off-lane Sven. I think. Oh, actually, everything's olive. It's probably gonna be this off-lane Sven. The Anti-Mage trying to match the late game of Spectre, and I mean, there's not much lockdown on the side of Team C. I mean, there's the Lion. Maybe the Winter Wyvern might be able to set up for this Lion a bit easier. But has to hope they don't get counter-spelled, because that would be really awkward. But until this Lion gets Blink, not going to be easy to kill this Anti-Mage at all. Maybe we'll see an early Hex come out of the Razor. That would be pretty cool. Or an Atos. Everyone's buying Atos these days, but obviously Anti-Mage can just buy Manta Style and then get out of the Atos. So let's hop into the game. Let's see how many hero spammers are. No hero spammers in this game. So a lot of the players playing the heroes for the draft and not for themselves. And let's hop right in. Let's introduce the teams. So on the side of Google Team C, we've got Freak on the Winter Wyvern, Hellboy on the Razor, Up Down Dota on the Spectre, For the Swarm on the Omni Knight, and Logris on the Lion. So we're going to see Bear Code on the Sven, Meow Meow on the Vengeful Spirit, Kid Wonderful on the Anti-Mage, D3, I should ask this guy how to pronounce his name. So D3 Tro on the Lich, and Cakes on the mid-Ancient Apparition. So I'm pretty excited to see this. Gonna see an early ward drop down by the Ancient Apparition. Razor's got his own ward now, but this Ancient Apparition got out here really quickly. So if Razor does drop his ward, he's gonna know, Ancient Apparition is gonna know about Razor's ward, and we'll be able to de-ward it pretty easily. So we'll see what if they can see the Razor. Razor's just hiding in the trees now. Maybe gotta drop it down during the bounty rune engagement while no one's paying attention. That's a pretty decent way to get it down as well. Still nothing. So this Sven and Lich with the first point in Frostblast, so a lot of aggression already coming out. Stormbolt goes out onto the Winter Wyvern, Cold Feet, but not much going to happen. And interesting that Ancient Apparition skilled Cold Feet at level 1, so not going to get that early point in Chilling Touch, but here's the mid laner, so he's going to get level 2 after the first wave, assuming that Razor doesn't deny anything. And a lot of early aggression coming out. It's going to be 3 bounty runes going the way of Prime Courier already, so already off to a pretty good start. And this lane is not going to be able to pressure this anti-mage that much. I don't really know what they can achieve here. It's going to be a pretty free anti-mage game, I think. Already a static link onto the Ancient Apparition. Not much that you can do to stop him. And zoned out of one of the creeps as well. Actually, yeah, I don't really know what this Ancient Apparition is going to do against Razor as well. There's definitely no kill potential on the Razor. Just probably going to hope to chip him out with some Chilling Touch spam, I would think. This Cold Feet, not going to be that helpful either. And already the Unstable Current coming out for the Razor. So gonna push that wave in. Ancient Apparition doesn't have that much base damage either. It's going to be pretty hard for him to last hit under tower. And I think it's going to be a pretty easy lane for Razor, honestly. Yeah, this Anti-Mage also going to have a pretty free lane, I would say. Maybe once Omni Knight gets more points in Purification, can start to spam out a little bit. He's going to need a Soul Ring before he can do that. Mid lane, the Cold Feet actually does stun the Razor, but 15 damage drained on the Ancient Apparition already. And only one last hit as well. Razor's owning this Ancient Apparition pretty hard. And I just really like the lanes from Amazon Prime Courier. They're going to be able to pressure the Spectre pretty hard as well. The Frost Blast spam obviously doesn't have Sacrifice anymore. But yeah, Spectre, you know, feeling the heat a little bit. The early point in Cold Embrace, I like this a lot from the Winter Wyvern. Just trying to alleviate the pressure a little bit from Spectre. But she's already really low. She doesn't have a Salve anymore. So it's going to be very hard for her to stay in this lane. Lich is out of mana, does have a Mango. Another Stormbolt comes out, the Frost Blast. Spectre getting pretty low, will go down. First Blood goes to the Sven. So already a fantastic start for Prime Courier. And it looks like they're on track to win all three lanes, which is going to be pretty rough for the side of Google. I'm not really sure how they can come back into the lane as well. They don't really have a playmaker. This Omni Knight, he kind of just wants to sit in the lane and spam out Purification. Not much of a team fighter himself. At least, like, he has a team fight ultimate, but it's more of a defensive one than an offensive one, like, you know, Ravages or Bruise Splits. So, I just don't really know how this... the side of Google are gonna make anything happen. There's no way they can kill the Anti-Mage, like, anytime soon. Not for a really long time, unless the Anti-Mage, like, makes a lot of mistakes. This Ancient Apparition isn't gonna help much either. 2 points in the Cold Feet, 2 points in Chilling Touch. So, kind of interesting. I feel like Chilling Touch is the one you want to max out first, and then go like 1-1-3, but who knows? It's not something we see that often. Oh wait, what am I saying all three lanes? I completely derped there. The Razor's gonna win mid, but these other two lanes are gonna be not that great. So Omni Knight should get some farm, but he's not going to be able to slow down the AM anyway. So if you're against an anti-mage, that's considered a loss. You really need to slow him down, otherwise it's going to be really hard. So I completely derped on that one. Soul Ring out for the Omni Knight now, so can spam that Purification every 30 seconds. Oh, 25. It's going to be pretty low in mana for the rest of the lane as well, but that's fine. It means you can trade with the anti-mage pretty efficiently. If you're taking the extra damage from mana break, that's pretty rough. Venge feeling the heat a little bit. Mid lane, Winter Wyvern's here, but he doesn't have any points in the Splinter Blast, so not much burst coming out. The Arctic Burn does hurt a little bit, but Ancient Apparition's already level 25, not quite getting spotted by the tower yet. But I don't know how much this Winter Wyvern's going to be able to help. He should really help his Spectre. The Spectre's struggling a little bit, like half the last hits of Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage is having a pretty free game. So we're going to see that phase boost come out from the Omni Knight. I wonder what we're going to see him build this game. We haven't seen Omni Knight for quite a while. I would say... I mean, if he's feeling bold, he can go for Radiance. Anti-Mage with the Spell Shield will be able to snatch the Bounty Rune in front of Lion's face. So, 3 Bounty Runes going the way of Amazon Prime Courier again. The Spectre feeling the heat a little bit from these Frost Blast spam. Lich actually went 1-on-1, which is a little bit odd. We normally you want to like put 2 points in your nuke. It doesn't really matter like if you're gonna max out the other skills. Put 2 points in your nuke at level 3 because the damage doubles. Maybe trying to acquire a kill with a Sinister Gaze. It goes a little bit early before the Cold Embrace runs out, so that's a little bit awkward. Also, the level 1 Cold Embrace Sinister Gaze doesn't last very long, so it's just, you should think of it as like primarily a way to cancel TPs, but you shouldn't use it otherwise. Omnidite going to use the Shrine without the Lion, so that's feels bad, but the Lion's going to get some experience up here by himself. Everything's going to get denied though. Spectre goes down to the Ancient Apparition, actually gets sniped from the mid lane, so already some good stuff from Ancient Apparition, making use of that ultimate already, and he's actually a level ahead of the Razor. I think Winter Wyvern, when she came mid, just like soaked some of that experience a little bit and made the Ancient Apparition cut a little bit ahead. He's also ahead on denies, and that's like where the main experience discrepancy comes from. Probably doesn't need that much farm, but I'm not really sure what he's gonna go for this game. Maybe we're gonna see an ATOS. That's the normal mid thing to do these days. Even if it's not, it's okay on with Ancient Apparition. Stormbolt onto the Spectre. The Warcry comes out, but not gonna be much follow up. Looks like Anti-Mage reflected the Impale. It's pretty easy to reflect that, so it's gonna be pretty hard for this Lion. He has to open with a Hex, otherwise the Anti-Mage can just spell shield it back. Invis for the Ancient Apparition. We'll see what he wants to do with this next Ice Blast. Already got the kill on Spectre, so that was pretty nice. And a pretty passive laning phase. So Spectre's the only one who's died, so feeding a little bit, you gotta report him. Actually struggling a lot. Yeah, 1500 net worth compared to this Sven, who's doubling his net worth. Actually, Anti-Mage feeling a bit of pressure as well. Not free farming as much as I would expect, but he's got a Ring of Health now, so should be able to stay in the lane for quite a while now. And again, there's no way from the side of Google to take him out. This last pick Anti-Mage is gonna be pretty hard to deal with. Ben's just pulling and stacking for his Anti-Mage. Well, not really stacking. Another Cold Feet onto the Razor. He's going to take a little bit of damage there. The Invis is going to come out from the Ancient Apparition. Goes to scout the top rune. It's not there, so knows that the rune is bottom, even though they don't have vision. Razor is probably going for it now, so we'll see if Ancient Apparition can get there in time. No points in the Ice Vortex for the speed. Oh, they got rid of that, didn't they? Used to be able to cast Ice Vortex and skate on it a little bit, but double damage on the Ancient Apparition. Not going to add too much damage, but it's okay. Another Ice Blast is coming down now. So, going to hit the Winter Wyvern. Oh, manages to clip him, and the Winter Wyvern's going to go down. Another nice Ice Blast from the Ancient Apparition. It's pretty hard to hit those, honestly. I'm not that great at it. And it's very like hit or miss, right? I feel like the main reason Ancient Apparition just disappeared from the meta, he was pretty god tier for like 2 patches, and then they introduced Spirit Vessel, and it's like, well, I could have this skill shot that does the same thing as a Spirit Vessel, or I could just buy a Spirit Vessel and don't have to pick an Ancient Apparition.
Radiant's middle tower is being attacked.
And if you miss a critical Ice Blast, like I guess an Alchemist, you miss Ice Blast, that just, that feels really terrible. It's like you need that to get the kill, but then you miss, and it's like, oh, well, might as well just get reported now. Razor's been forced out of the lane. Just feeling the heat from these Chilling Touch, and even the Cold Feet spam. Cold Feet does do a pretty sizable chunk of damage. 9 damage per second. The Ice Blast comes out as well. Razor's getting pretty low. There's another Chilling Touch in 2 seconds, and another Cold Feet as well. So Ancient Apparition, he's owning, dude. He's gonna go for an ATOS as well, just as I expected. Gonna be able to sit at that Cold Feet a little bit easier. Level 8 now, or level 9. The 4 points in Chilling Touch is where we wanted to see it. And 3k gold advantage. 10-minute boundaries are coming up. Winter Wyvern will be able to snatch 2 at bot, whereas Anti-Mage will get the 2 at top. So 2 for 2 trade overall. marginal improvement from the 3 bounty runes that have been going the way of Amazon the whole time. Its Winter Wyvern is dead. He's just gonna get taken out. That was a lot of damage from that Chilling Touch. 170 bonus damage. And the slow as well for 0.5 seconds. Interesting. I wonder how he's going to deal with these mana pulps. Actually, he managed to take out the anti-mage. How did they even do that? Impale and Purification. So maybe underestimating the damage that's coming out of the Omni Knight. I feel like they did 300. They did 700 damage. Oh, okay, that's a lot actually. Anti-mage only has 800. So I guess there is a decent amount of burst coming out. Vlad's on the Sven done already, so gonna be able to group up and make space for this anti-mage to farm. He's also bullying the Spectre super hard. The Spectre doesn't even have boots yet. I wonder what the Spectre's gonna go for. Cold Embrace, but doesn't get clipped by the Ice Path, so Ice Blast. It's a bit unfortunate. He would have died actually, because the Lich is now level 6. Could have dropped a Chain Frost and killed the Spectre. He can still do that. They don't even need the Chain Frost. Storm Bolt into an Ice Blast. A Frost Blast. There's a lot of spells that sound the same. Ice Blast, Frost Blast. But yeah, the Spectre just dies, and she's not gonna be able to get in this game. I don't think. I don't know about this Spectre pick. They picked the Omni Knight and then didn't pick a carry who could fight early with the Omni Knight. I mean, the Spectre is just gonna feed for most of this game. Haunt comes out, Haunt onto the Sven. Sven's getting pretty low, will go down, pops the God Strength before he goes down, so a bit of a wasted God Strength for him. Chain Frost, not lucky enough with the bounces. This Lich will also go down, so nice rotation from the Razor. Will snag them 2 heroes, and the Spectre got a pretty decent chunk of gold, like 400 gold to come back a little bit. Finally has Trez actually, so had a lot of gold banked up. Maybe was thinking about a Midas, but decided that like buying the Treads now and being able to get that Sven kill was more worth it. Atos now done on the Ancient Apparition. Also counters this Omni Knight pretty hard. The Omni Knight's gonna go down, gets Ice Blast and then Cold Feeded. We'll tick out to the Cold Feed. This Ancient Apparition is owning so hard, top of the net worth chart now. Wow, okay, this lane went a lot better than I was expecting. But yeah, I mean, this Chilling Touch spam, really problematic. Anti-Mage, not gonna feel much pressure here. He's gonna get a few touches from the Arctic Burn, but gonna be okay. Lion goes down at bot lane, so just that Sven and Lich combo. Actually, Sven didn't even need to use the stun, so Sinister Gaze and the Frost Shield just ran him down, I guess. Oh, I did use Storm Bolt. Oh, but that makes sense. Lich has mana boots. Yeah.
Dire's middle tower is being
Boots of Travel as well on the Ancient Apparitions. He can throw out that cross country. Alright, Atos and Cold Feet onto the Omni Knight. Gets Ice Blast for his troubles. So we'll see if he's gonna go down. He's pretty tanky still. And Lion's gonna come in now, so the Ancient Apparition gonna back out. But I like this Boost of Travel a lot. You can throw that cross country Ice Blast across the map, and then TP into the fight. There's some pretty luxury items. And bot lane, like, there's nothing they can do down here. Like, the Spectre's gone, she's just in the jungle now. Doesn't have a Morbid Mask to farm, to sustain herself though. So gonna have to run back to the base. It's pretty miserable. Omni Knight's coming down here now, but he's completely out of mana, so just scaring them off. Maybe the side of Prime Courier not paying attention to how much mana Omni Knight has. Actually, no points in the Heavenly Grace, but I think that's okay. If you're the offlaner, then you don't need that one for a while. It's better in team fights. You don't really need it in these like skirmishes. Anti-Mage already done with the Perseverance. He is slowed down a little bit. Like, but compared to like the Sven and the Ancient Apparition, But this is okay because this Sven and Ancient Apparition are gonna go on a rampage. 15-minute bounty runes come out. Lion manages to snatch the bounty rune away from the anti-mage, but the anti-mage is just playing forward. Atos onto the Lion. He'll go down before he can grab the other bounty runes. So it's gonna be 3 bounty runes going the way of Prime Courier. Venge. This is the right Venge build. Max Wave of Terror. Hopefully she goes for the Max Vengeance or Nexus. The Magic Missile just doesn't scale very well. There's not much point in leveling it. And you gotta go for a fast Medallion as well. So a lot of minus armor coming out from the Venge. Gonna amp up her team's damage. Ancient Apparition isn't gonna benefit too much from it, but yeah, somewhat. Lion's gone up top. He has Finger of Death. He's had it for a while now, but hasn't been able to find a rotation. Who's going to rotate with? The Winter Wyvern isn't going to help with getting any kills. This Omni Knight is probably the closest bet. Maybe burst them down with a Purification afterwards. Spectre getting pretty low. Sinister Gaze and will die. This is the tri-lane I was talking about during the draft. They didn't end up running with it because of the Razor making everything a little bit more complicated. Also, they picked the anti-mage, so you can't leave the anti-mage alone. But yeah, it's just so much kill potential. The Lich and the Vengeful Spirit just can do so much more than the Lion and the Winter Wyvern. The Lion can do okay. The Winter Wyvern doesn't provide much in terms of aggression. Gonna group up for this mid tower now. They've got the catapult as well, so it should be pretty easy. No contest. I like how Google is going for the trade, not trying to defend this. I'm just not sure how they can take fights ever in this game, but definitely can't fight right now. Sven and Ancient Apparition are both pretty jacked up. This Lich gonna give up his life. It's slowed down by the degen aura, and the Chain Frost comes out. Anti-Mage is here, but Lich will eventually go down. Gets Finger of Death for his troubles. The Ice Blast comes out onto 2 heroes as well, and they're all gonna go down. 4 down just for a Lich on the side of Team Google. This is a complete disaster for them. 1400 gold swing. That was a sick Ice Blast. 4 heroes caught. And the Chain Frost as well, just turning around, using the Chain Frost to keep them slowed down enough for this Ice Blast to connect on all of them. So great plays coming out from Team Amazon.
Radiant having unfortified structures is now a thing of the past.
Sven, he's got a lot of money. He's got a lot of money banked up. We'll see what he wants to go for. I feel like Blink is the right way to go. They don't have an initiator right now on the side of Amazon Prime Courier, other than this Venge swap, which is a little bit unreliable. You got to get in range for it. We're gonna see the Blink come out, so nice early Blink from the Sven. Could have been much earlier. He's actually pretty close to his next item as well. We'll see what he wants to go for. Actually gonna go for a Daedalus. He's feeling pretty good about this game. He probably knows that he was like near the top of the net worth chart. And Anti-Mage with the Battle Fury as well, 800 gold, so got his Battle Fury around 17 minutes I would say, so pretty good timing from him as well. This Ancient Apparition is the king though. Actually gotta go for a Silver Edge next. I like this a lot, just being able to sneak up with that bonus damage as well, break the Refraction, no that's not what it's called, Dispersion from the Spectre, and Razor, he's just gonna go down, gets Ice Blast, Cold Feet, Atos, and yeah, looks like Prime Courier is just completely owning. They don't have an Ice Blast to deal with this Omni Knight right now, so the Venge will go down to the Haunt, and a bit of Haunt dancing going on. Hex onto the Ancient Apparition. Oh, that's the Lich, sorry. So Omni Knight will make it out because they didn't have the Ice Blast for him, but that's okay. They got the Razor, who's the mid laner, so pretty worth. Omni Knight is top of net worth on his team though, so it would have been the bigger kill. Going for a Yules, well, it's not that many items I feel like you could buy on Omni Knight to make a difference. So he's kind of one of those like utility offlaner guys where you just buy a bunch of aura items and then group up. But what can they do when they group up? Spectre wants to stay on the other side of the map. Razor is really far behind this Ancient Apparition, like half the net worth of the Ancient Apparition, so it's going to be hard for him to stay relevant in this game.
Blessings. Radiant's top tower is under siege.
Yeah, 11k gold ahead, 10k experience ahead, and pretty close to 100% win rate. And I gotta agree, this anti-mage is just gonna become pretty difficult to kill. I just don't really know how they're gonna stop him. I know I keep saying that, but like, this last pick anti-mage just really screwed over Google Team C. Gonna have a bit of a pause come out. Razor reconnects now. And actually, Ancient Apparition, he's feeling pretty good this game. Ice Blast onto the Omni Knight, still gonna stop him from healing his teammates. And nice Winter's Curse onto the Sven. Sven's getting pretty low, but won't go down. The Splinter Blast not well timed enough. Probably wouldn't have killed him anyway. He's pretty tanky. 2.2k HP with the God Strength active. Yeah, Ancient Apparition's feeling himself. He's going for a day gun. He just wants to kill people now. Understanding that his team is very far ahead. Long range Atos onto the Razor, and the Razor's gonna go down. Gets cold feeted. This Observer Ward doing a pretty decent amount of work. Got that Razor kill earlier as well up here. Spec is on the run now. They're looking for Spectre. They saw her with the wards, but senses danger. So they're gonna hide in the trees for a little bit. We'll see how long Spectre decides to stay. She probably wants to stay actually. Maybe cut the wave a little bit and then TP out. Might be the play here. Gonna go for a Manta. I think this is probably the best thing that she could have gone for. Radiance is just like not on the table anymore. They're so farmed on the side of Team Prime Courier. And Google Team C, they're really far behind. So they're not going to be able to make this Radiance work. I feel like Manta is okay. If they can like isolate the supports and just Manta on top of them and then get the 3 Desolate damage, can instantly kill a support and then try and salvage the fight a little bit. Make it a 4v5. Anti-Mage just blinks in with no fear against the Omni Knight. There's nothing that the Omni Knight can do. Omni Knight is now out of mana, doesn't have Soul Ring, and the Anti-Mage just blinks out. And he's just going to do this for the rest of the game.
Fortified their towers.
It's going to be a Yules come out on the Razor, but I feel like Atos may have given them a slightly better chance. Sure, the Omni Knight almost has Manta style. It's just the recipe away now. But Yules isn't going to help at all. Stormbolt onto the Spectre, gonna send up an Ice Blast and it's gonna go down again. So there's a lot of deaths on the Spectre already. 5 deaths, don't want to be in that position. Razor will kill the Ancient Apparition, so nice injection of gold going his way. I still don't think that the Yules is the way to go though. That's an extra crown for some reason, a little bit odd there. Swap onto the Omni Knight. Both stuns come out at the same time. The Sinister Gaze will help finish off the Omni Knight. Anti-Mage draining all his mana so he can't divine Guardian Angel away. Yeah, I've completely forgotten the names of Omni Knight spells because we don't see him anymore. 90 GPM finally on the Winter Wyvern, so it feels good. Maybe we'll eventually get Arcane Boots before this game ends, but it's looking like pretty grim for the side of Google.
Bottom tower is being attacked.
Blink forward from the Anti-Mage into the Spectre. No fear coming out of him. Some interesting swap plays going on earlier. Swapped the Omni Knight up the hill and then swapped him back into the hill, hoping that Storm queued up a Stormbolt, but he didn't, so that they both like Stormbolt and Magic Missile at the same time. They got the kill anyway, but a little bit of inefficiency there. Anti-Mage has a Butterfly queued up, and after he gets that, he's literally going to be unkillable. At 35% evasion, going to be pretty hard to break through. None of these heroes, MKB buyers, Razor and Spectre, don't naturally buy the MKBs. Probably don't want to. It's not the right kind of heroes. You want a lot of attack speed if you build MKB. Yeah, Anti-Mage, he's surrounded, but he's going to be okay. Gets Blink Hex by the Lion. Lion has a Hex already, so he's getting pretty low. No Finger gonna come out on the line, but they do manage to kill the Anti-Mage. So showing that with 5 heroes, they do have the damage output to take him out now. Gonna be a lot harder once he gets the butterfly though. But Lion also didn't have Finger of Death at that time. Still on cooldown. Gonna hope to get level 12 before he uses it again for the reduced cooldown. And got straight into the Roach Pits. They're gonna take this one pretty quickly with Avenge, Medallion, and Wave of Terror. Avenge not using her Medallion on the Roshan, so not really sure what's going on there. Another Wave of Terror comes out. There's a nice scan from the Radiant side. See that they're in Roche, but can they get there in time? It's just the Winter Wyvern now. Uses the Arctic Burn. Doesn't give you flying vision. The Winter's Curse onto the Ancient Apparition. But the God Strength only ran out. Swap comes out from the Ancient Apparition, from the Venge onto the Ancient Apparition. Finger of Death onto the Lich, but Lich won't go down either. And this is going to be a complete disaster for the side of Team Google. Only 2 heroes walked into the pit, and just no follow-up after the Winter's Curse. They don't have any AoE disables either, other than the Impale, but probably didn't seem like Lion was able to line up a multi-hero Impale. Spectre does have her ult Manta style now, if she can get to the shops, but I don't know how much it's going to help. Sven with a full data list done now. Gonna go for a BKB. They're going to be pretty hard to take down now. Dagon 4 from the Ancient Apparition. So it was a nice Winter's Curse. The Venge swap was kind of late, but it didn't matter anyway because the God Strength ran out actually, so it was really unfortunate for the Winter Wyvern. And then just didn't have the damage to follow it. Spec didn't have Haunt, and Razor was nowhere to be found. Big forward from the Anti-Mage with no fear. And Sven's got the Aegis now. They have to bring him down twice, but he's got so much HP. He's actually getting pretty low already. He's on half-life, just getting chipped down by all this spam actually. The Splinter Blast, Spectral Dagger, Purification, and Plasma Field. A lot of D-push from the side of Team Google actually. D-push only helps you if you're already defending one lane. You kind of have to just like nuke out in the wave completely. So Google, they're kind of just stuck in their base at this point. If Sven rocks up to a fight, like, they have to run. This Sven's so scary right now. Stormbolt onto the Winter Wyvern, isn't able to get a Cold Embrace off. The Divine Heavenly Grace onto the Winter Wyvern. Lion will go down pretty quickly to the Anti-Mage, but Anti-Mage will take out the Lich as well. So, nice 1-for-1 trade so far. 2 swaps coming out from the Razor. Razor stealing a lot of damage, has plus 168 damage, so gonna hit pretty hard. The Guardian Angel comes out, so the Sven will lose his first life. He does have BKB, but there's not much lockdown left on the side of Team Google, so he might be able to just get away. God Strength popped, gonna go onto the Razor. Razor is out of stolen damage. The Winter Wyvern goes down to the Anti-Mage in the back line, just gets mana voided. Yules to stop the Atos from happening, but the Razor, he's in a lot of trouble. The Ice Blast comes out, he's gonna clip, no, it doesn't hit anyone. So, Finger of Death onto the Sven, and Sven will die twice in this fight. The Anti-Mage now on a little bit of a rampage, not going to be able to stop him. He's out of mana though, so going to have to play a little bit safe here. And actually a pretty nice defense from the side of Google, only the buybacks on the support, and they take out the Aegis. This doesn't include the Lich or the first death on the Sven, so yeah, I mean, that was a pretty nice fight from Team Google. I wasn't expecting them to be able to output that so much damage. The Razor got swapped and then twice and used himself, and the whole time the Static Leak was running. So he had 168 stolen damage on the Anti-Mage. So the Anti-Mage wasn't hitting very hard at all. All his damage coming from the mana break. Yules on the Razor, the Dagon and Ice Blast combo. So the Razor instantly dying there. That's some serious feels bad. Maybe we'll see this E-Blade. No, he's gonna go for a Hex. Alright. Stompbolt onto the Omni Knight, but probably isn't gonna be able to take him out. There's a crit from the Sven, and the Cold Embrace is actually going to screw over this Omni Knight, because now he's surrounded. The Winter Wyvern will take out the Lich with her. Tried to Manta Dodge the Stormbolt, but didn't make it. And Sven, he's in deep. He turned on God's Strength. The Spectre's getting pretty low. There's no healing. There's another Purification come out. Ice Blast misses again, so won't be able to clip that Spectre and take him out with the dot damage. Pipe on the side of Team Google. Impale onto the Sven. Sven, his God's Strength is almost out. This Lion Mana Drain has been doing a pretty decent amount of work. I wish it was level 4 though. I really don't agree with this like max Hex build, but it's fine because his team needs lockdown. No one else on his team provides any lockdown at all, so I can't flame too hard. But I feel like mana draining the Sven and mana draining the Anti-Mage is like pretty big actually. It's really the only way I can see them taking out the Anti-Mage, if he loses all his mana and then they can finally take him out. But Lion's been positioning pretty well. He got a pretty early blink, was able to get that Anti-Mage kill up here with the blink, so a great game already from the Lion, I would say. Invis on the Sven, blink forward onto the Lich, but the Sven reveals himself with a Stormbolt. Haunt comes out, they're fighting next to the Shrine, they're going to turn on the Shrine, there's no Ice Blast. Ice Blast is just now coming in, it's going to hit all of them, and this is a complete disaster. Finger of Death onto the Vengeful Spirit, but now the Lion's going to die to the, oh actually, the Ice Blast runs out, so Lion will be able to get healed up. Dagon takes out the Razor, and they're going to disengage, so a Razor for a Vengeful Spirit is not the best trait. Yules onto the Ancient Apparition to slow him down, but Anti-Mage will just blink forward and kill the Lion as well. I think that's a dieback from the Lion, because he bought back for that top defense. Winter Wyvern in a lot of trouble as well. Tries to Arctic Burn out, but gets mana voided for his troubles, and also a dieback from the Winter Wyvern. Actually no, that seems like a regular death. But yeah, the supports don't have buybacks. This Razor does have buybacks, but it's only 20 seconds, so he probably doesn't want to do it. They're going to give up at least this one lane of racks. Maybe they can get the T3 at the other one as well. God's Strength is popped, so... Oh, actually, yeah, God's Strength is popped. So this buildings are going to go down pretty fast. Atos onto the Spectre. The Heavenly Grace Ball help him out. Anti-Mage going to go for the mid tower, but Lion's back. Has to hope for a quick finger spell shield. He's just gonna blink out. Lich, he's in a bit of trouble. He's just gonna get run down by the side of Team Google, but they back out. It's kind of scary to run this far out of base. They don't want to get baited into a fight they don't want to take. Atos onto the Razor. Uses himself to dodge any potential Ice Blast follow up. He still has Ice Blast, the E-Blade Dagon combo onto the Razor, and he gets chipped. He gets clipped by the Ice Blast, doesn't take the damage, but he's getting pretty low. He will make it out because there's no Ags yet. Chain Frost comes out, the Yules will dodge a couple hits, and it's onto the creeps as well, so not the most effective Chain Frost. Swap onto the Omni Knight, pulls it back to the side of Amazon, and Omni Knight, he's getting pretty low, gets Dagon E-Bladed for his troubles, and will go down. So Lion goes down again, Omni Knight does go down, he has buyback, Winter Wyvern will get picked off by the Anti-Mage again. Basher now done on the Anti-Mage. And Sven, he doesn't have God Strength, he's got God Strength in 15 seconds. So, but yeah, this building's going down for pretty much free. Lion is back up, but I'm not really sure how they can help him out. Atos onto the Razor, he's going to just get E-Blade Dagon again, and instantly killed. God Strength popped now, and they're going to go for Mega Creeps. The Anti-Mage is going to come back soon, I would assume, and... Alright, here we go. The Mega Creeps are going to come out. Razor's down for 40 seconds, has buyback. I feel like Razor should just buy back right now. This is going to be their last stand. They can't get Megan. Yes, Razor does buy back, and this is the last stand. Blink forward onto the Lion. The Lion, he's going to die. Guardian Angel comes out onto the Lion, so he's not going to go down straight away. Nice saves from the side of Google. The Haunt comes out as well. The Lich is getting pretty low. Anti-Mage just hitting the Razor, but a nice Winter's Curse will take out the Sven. Blink forward again from the Anti-Mage, isn't able to get the bash, gets the bash onto the Omni Knight in the first hit. Spell Shield will stop the Lion from being able to stun him, but Lion, he reflects, there's another Spell Shield. It's only a 1.8 second downtime. And actually the Anti-Mage will go down to the Blade Mail, but they have Mega Creep, so it's pretty hashtag worth. The Ancient Apparition will insta-kill the Winter Wyvern. Chain Frost comes out. There's another Blade Mail soon. And this Omni Knight, he's getting pretty low. He's gonna go down. Godlike on the Ancient Apparition. Double kill. The Static Link will go out. A nice Ice Blast point blank. Will take out the Razor by himself. He blades himself to get out, and he's gonna get out. He boosts the travels out. Oh, yo, what a play! What a player! This Ancient Apparition cakes. Yikes. Just completely owning this game, dude.
A gift from the goddess.
Got a Kaya as well. You know, it's just that little bit of extra magic burst. Why not? Lich. Gonna get a Guardian Creeps. But there's Mega Creeps now. This game is looking all but over. Let's see if they're able to take out this Ancient Apparition before the game ends. Winter's Curse onto the Ancient Apparition. He's by himself, gets impaled. There's a Hex follow-up, Finger of Death, but wow. Lion gonna go down, gets Dagoned. And Ice Blast onto the Spectre. Gonna miss. Yeah, it's just the Spectre and the Winter Wyvern against 5 heroes, so not much of a chance there. Mantis Faust out of the Atos and the Cold Feet. Swap onto the Winter Wyvern, so the Winter Wyvern's going to go down. Buys back instantly. Omni Knight is up as well. But yeah, the base is in tatters. Another Dagon E-Blade combo onto the Spectre. Isn't able to get the Ice Blast, and the game's going to end. So GG. This Ancient Apparition just owned so hard. And I mean, we can't discredit this like last pick anti-mage as well. They just like completely screwed over Google Team C with this last pick anti-mage, knowing that only the Lion was there to slow him down. But they were able to get kills on the anti-mage. I thought he was gonna have like the freest game, 0 deaths. But the Lion Blink reveal happened and was able to take out the anti-mage in the base as well. That last fight before. Well, all the side of Google Team C was up. There was a lot of nice teamwork coming out from Google Team C, keeping that Lion alive, understanding that he's the critical part of their lineup to even like stand a chance against the side of Prime Courier, the the Guardian Angel, and then the Cold Embrace saved the Lion from imminent death. That was really cool. But yeah, how much damage does this Ancient Apparition do? 43,000 damage on the Ancient Apparition. That's like almost more than the side of Google Team C combined. That's so ridiculous. 23,000 net worth. Actually out-farmed the anti-mage, which is wild. Completely wild. And then, yeah, 675 GPM. And how many kills? 18 kills. Yikes, man. This Ancient Apparition is pretty scary.